to Dr. Suresh Kumar, Somnath, and the management. And now I thank Dr. Guru Prasad Mohanty for having started the first step of trying to see that how best you can teach. So wish you all the best, sir. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be with you
Thank
today.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Divan.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable speech, sir. Just a little housekeeping before we started. If you have any questions during these presentations, please type them into the chat box in your control panel. We'll bring them up during the presentations, and we'll also have the time for questions at the end. Now, without further ado, we'll turn to the time over to Professor Guru Prasad Mahanta, sir. And I am requesting Mrs. Madhulata, ABS Madhulata, Madam, Associate Professor, Nasrapeta Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and moderator for today's session to introduce our today's speaker and highlight credibility and expertise on the field in pharmacy. So please, Madam, continue.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Myself, AVS Madhulata, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Nasrapeta Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Nasrapeta. I am today's moderator. I am very much privileged to invite you all to this virtual faculty development program, attending through Zoom and YouTube platforms from various parts of the globe. Firstly, it's my duty to thank the management of our college, Nasrapeta Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, for allowing us to organize this FDP, benefiting fellow faculty members and research scholars. On this same occasion, I would like to acknowledge the principal and all the faculty members for their support directly and indirectly. Till date, we conducted 2 webinars, 1 quiz and 1 art party for the benefit of student and faculty community. In comparison with the session lasting 1 or 2 hours, FTP offers benefiting like technology integration, updation and inline with latest trends in research. It offers a great chance to learn recent
Voice not touch.
Unmute the speaker.
Speaker unmuted.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Myself. Okay. Start. I am very glad to introduce today's speaker, Professor Guru Prasad Mohanta.
Speaker.
Unmute the speaker. Microphone.
Worked as a former National Technical Officer, WHO Control Country Officer for India. Currently working as a Professor, Department of Annamalai University, Tamil Nadu. He has 32 years teaching experience and in research, and other 2 years experience in programming management and administration as a technical officer in WHO. He contributed his services as a member, like expert, faculty advisor, former member in various associations, colleges, universities like SRM, Annamalai, Rajiv Gandhi University, Karnataka, and Rajiv Gandhi Hospital. He got funds from various organizations like CSIR, ICMR, WHO for his continuous research. He guided 17 PhD students, 5 are working currently. He published 123 international, 77 national, and 280 popular articles in well-reputed and peer-reviewed journals. He authored several books like Textbook of Pharmacovigilance, Textbook of Clinical Research, and he delivered several lectures on pharmacoeconomics of pharmacovigilance and pharmacy practice. He attended 29 international and 60 national conferences. He was honored as expert invitee for Monza University, Italy, and recipient of IAPST Scientist of 2015 award. He attended many training programs, namely FIP, WHO, and WHO HAI. He also served many field reach out activities, and he was also a member of various farm professional affiliations like IPA, Tamil Nadu State Pharmacy Council, etc. And we feel very happy for having you as our speaker, sir. Over to the Professor G.P. Mohanta, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, madam, for your introduction for today's speaker, Dr. Mohanta sir. Now I'd like to request Dr. G.P. Mohanta, please continue the session.
So thank you, madam, for your lavish appreciation. And
Thank you, sir.
I am really flattered. Let me tell all my colleagues who are attending today's program, I am just a teacher like all of you, and some of you probably has recently joined teaching. I joined earlier, some 35 years ago. That is probably the only difference. And with time we have grown, and I'm sure you all will grow to the extent you put your effort. Friends, if we look at any profession, including now we tell teaching is also a profession, where we see a school education, the LKG teachers, they are all trained. Secondary school teachers are trained, and pharmaceutical teachers directly from the college or from the research institutes, directly from the college to another college as professor. Where is the training on teaching? Whether we do need to be trained as a teacher, or teaching job is so simple that it does not require a training. It is, we need to introspect on that. Friends, let me share screen. Please enable the screen sharing.
Dr. Somnath.
Sir, you can share your screen, sir.
It is showing host disabled participant screen sharing.
సార్ని co-host చేయండి లేకపోతే co-host.
So can I put the full screen?
Yes, yes.
This is okay? You are able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. When we talk of, pardon? You are able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Able to see the screen?
Yes.
So friends, when we talk of teaching practice, teaching cannot go alone. Teaching has to go along with the assessment. That is why I put the title, Good Teaching and Assessment Practice. Every teacher is also an assessor of his students. And we talk of different things about the teaching. Here I have the two quotes. Destroying any nation does not need the use of atomic bombs or missiles. It just requires the quality of teaching. If we destroy the quality of teaching, the nation will be destroyed within no time. Then there is another quotation. Education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the world. And friends, this both shows a teacher's responsibility and where and what we need to do. Yes, friends. Can anybody tell what is the toughest job? At least one response. Toughest job.
Listening. I'm just kidding.
Convincing others.
Yes, perhaps. But still, the toughest, I do believe, teaching the teachers. Because The teachers, we don't have attitude to listen. What we have is only the attitude to talk. So in my understanding, perhaps this is the toughest job. And it so happened, the pharmacovigilance is a very new terminology in our pharmacy and in health science. Worldwide, we are now talking of how to teach pharmacovigilance to the teachers, because the present day teachers, most of them have never heard of this terminology pharmacovigilance. They are not trained. So how to teach? Teach the teachers, and teach the teachers is the toughest job. Friends, many times we have this whenever we are together, my old students who are teachers, they say, sir, the situation has changed over the years. People are, as a student, what we were, the present day students are not like that. Friends, time has changed. When time has changed, the students will change. If we look at the time when probably many of you were as students, teacher was the only source of information. No books, no your YouTube, no internet, nothing. But now the question comes is, the student tells me, sir, why should I listen your boring lecture when I can I can view the best lecture available, even that is free in YouTube, or I may have to pay an app to listen, and I have to listen your 45 minutes to 1 hour boring lecture. So this option is available with the students. And when this option is available with the students, our responsibility moves still more challenging. It is more difficult to keep the students, as the vice president said, you're, keeping them plugged together in the class. Friends, situation have changed. And here, if you look at the teacher, and we say at this moment, all these days, what we used to know, a teacher is very knowledgeable, a teacher is very informative, and so on. And teacher is the source of information. If that is the case, probably the Google Assistant and many other similar softwares or apps available, they are better source of information. Because what is knowledge? Knowledge is the facts and figures, and they know the facts and figures. Very little facts and figures nowadays people remember. Anything, put Google, immediately we get. So knowledge gets little of less importance in the present time. But knowledge alone is not the only things that we have been talking. Next, we talk about the skill. Do you have a skill? Whether we have acquired the skill, whether I can do something. I have the knowledge, but if I don't have the skill, I cannot apply my knowledge. And next comes is not just the skill, the attitude. So the principle of success has changed. Teaching learning process is changed. It starts from the attitude. If we have the attitude, we can acquire the skill, we can have the knowledge. So
আচ্ছা বারে বারে ফোনটা কাটছি, বুঝতে পারছেন না? ব্যস্ত আছি, এতবার ফোন করছি, একটু ধৈর্য ধরুন না।
So the principle of success now is ASK. In the hierarchy, A comes to the top, then the skill, and then the knowledge. Friends, we teach, but unless the student learn, our teaching is of no value. So the teaching now should not just the teaching, it should be teaching learning process. And the learning matrix has got three components. It has got three components: before learning, during learning, and after learning. And these are all the responsibility what a teacher has to do before learning, during learning, and after learning. Three components. So before learning, we must make our goals and objectives very clear. Yes, I am going to take a class today, but what is my preparation? My preparation is not just transformation of whatever my knowledge to the students, but now everything must be well organized. And that is what we say is smart. So our goal and objective, we must make very, very specific. It must be measurable. It must be attainable. It must be relevant. It must be timed out. If we do not have my specific target, and the target must be measurable, targets should be attainable. If I am not able to do that, I fail in achieving the success what I intend to do. Second thing, friends, now everybody, every institution is talking of the accreditation. As far as pharmacy is concerned, it is either National Board of Accreditation or the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC. So these are all important. For every course, we must fix our objective. So we have three metrics. As I said, before learning, then during learning, and after learning. During learning, what a teacher or an educator has to do, provide what related exercise. It is not just lecturing. And involving the students. Involving the students, the easiest way is give them exercise, let them work out, and that will help them to learn. Give your feedback, help learners, and conduct evaluation and learning. This is during the learning. And normally how we do is, sometimes we ask few questions. If not possible to have a written pre-course knowledge, at least few questions, and after the lecture, we should ask the post-course knowledge, and difference will tell us how much we are successful. And the last one is after learning. That is called evaluation on learning outcomes. That is what we do, continuous evaluation program, examination from sessional to the final exam. We have got 7 principles. We'll have some activities towards the end to make it little lively. 7 principles of good practice. The first principle is to have the contact between the student and teacher. It is not that I have entered the class, completed 1 hour, finish, go back, and no contact till the next class. But we must encourage that students should feel happy. Students should feel, yes, my teacher is always for me. I can ask the question. So contact should in and out of the class should continue. Then learning must be enhanced. How? If it is a teamwork. Sometimes we give, okay, these 3 members, 4 members, this is a task for you. So group learning is always a good way to improve learning process. Then good practice, active learning, involve the students. and ask them what they understand and they what intend to say. Let them say their experience to us. Good practices requires prompt feedback. The feedback should come from whom? From the teachers. But what happened is, we have sometimes so much less time that we immediately complete our lecture and move away because the next teacher has been waiting. But we should have time to ask them what they feel and in what way they can learn better, and their feedback is also important. Good practices emphasize time. Yes, time is important. When we talk of timings, we must be aware that after my class, another teacher has to come. I have no right to encroach his or her timings. At the same time, I must give the students also enough time to think, not just listen. Good practice, the communication. The communication will tell what is your expectation, and always we keep our expectation high. If we keep our expectation high, we'll be able to achieve this. So goal is always set at higher level. And the last point is, there are diverse ways of learning, and which one will be suitable, which one will be best, what one will be ideal, it depends upon the situation, and we should be able to guide the students. Then comes, after taking the class or before the class, sometimes we do need to introspect. A teacher is always has to do this introspection. And these introspections I divide into two categories. One is designing to facilitate learning. Friends, in higher education, we stop talking of taking class, covering syllabus. No, we have started talking, we facilitate learning. We help the student to learn, not that we are here to teach. So when we facilitate learning, what we need to think of? What do you do to inform the students? Friends, we entered the class and immediately we started telling, even without taking any background, we start drawing our structure. You see, this is how you need to synthesize. But we need to give a background, inform the students about the program. See, this is what I am going to tell you, teach you, and you are going to learn over this semester. These are the things that this should be given in generally in writing. When you can, do you find the student expectation of your pair? Ask the students what they expect. Yes, those who have made the syllabus, those who have made the curriculum, they have put a target. But what the student expect? Students are our clients. And in this age, it is a relationship between the service providers and the client. Service providers must look into the client's interest. How do you build your students' experience in your paper? You are teaching something, some subjects, some modules. How do you build about the students' experience? How do you ensure there is a consistency between your paper and learning? So what I teach, it must be consistent with the curriculum as well as what we expect for student to learn. Now about the students. Are we concerned with the active engagement of the students? Friends, if we are not well prepared, we cannot engage the students, because we'll have a fear psychosis that they may ask something which I may not be able to answer. Yes, nobody knows everything. And we have no hesitation in telling, yes, this particular material, I have no idea, I do not know, I'll let you know next class. And this is not a inferiority complex, because nobody knows. And what we know is very little, what we don't know is very, very vast. Do you have a climate of mutual respect, trust, and open competition? Whether we allow these classes 60 students, classes 30 students, whether we have the respect for each other and we have the environment to allow competition. How do you indicate the students that you reserve? What is this? I'm not able to see. Okay. Their values and beliefs without necessarily accepting them. How do you tell the students about this? In what ways do you assist the student that they reflect what you held? What do you encourage the student? How do you, what do you do to encourage the students? And encouraging student is most important. Then teaching for learning. How do you show students you are enthusiastic in the subject? And that shows when we take the class, that shows us how much. See, sometimes we teach a different subjects. Some teacher has gone on leave. A teacher is not available. We cannot leave the subjects. So we have to take that class also. So we have to prepare. So the student should feel my teacher is enthusiastic of teaching his subject, his paper. Do you make a conscious effort to be and playing an active role for thinking and practice? And that is very, very important. Give food for thought. What approaches do you use to index student into the research or activity? Yes, something they say teaching and research should go together. And yes, it is not that 50-50, depending upon the level of the class. Even in undergraduate also, there must be a component of research. So that scholarly thinking, that we need to develop that sorts of attitude among our students. What step do you take to extend the range of learning activities? So it is not that always it should be the teaching learning process in the class. It could be even outside the class. One day you can just tell the students something. You go to the library and come back after 15 minutes. Tell them what is to be done. And we don't know most of the time we do not allow the cell phone, the smartphone to use. And in my class, especially in the pharmacy class, because the numbers are very less, 30 students, and I used to tell them, use your smartphone. If I ask a question, and if they find it difficult, yes, you have a smartphone, why can't you find the answer? Yes, friends. So teachers teaches, the student learns the traditional methods. The method of, so for example, here is an aspirin formulation. One has to make aspirin formulation. So what the student will do, it is his choice. But how he will think what is to be done, that is my credibility. So here two components. One is logical thinking. The other is what is my choice. So what is my choice? It is the student choice. But how you will reach to that, that is the teachers. Teacher has taught the student how to move logically. For example, my friends, this aspirant formulation, if one has to do, whether we should go for a solid or liquid. All the formulations, they are either in the form of a solid or liquid. Few are there semi-solid also. So in making a formulation, when I am teaching pharmaceutics, I don't directly tell aspirin should be formulated like this. Ask him what, whether they should go for solid, whether they should go for liquid, and why solid and why liquid, why not solid and why not liquid. So that is the thinking power. We are allowing them to think and decide. Yes, liquid you cannot do because aspirin is very unstable and water cannot be used. So we have probably option is to go for solid formulation. If it is for solid formulation, the choice is normally tablet. Which one we should go? Dry granulation, wet granulation, or direct compression? What should be our choice? And with logic, we should choose, yes, I should go direct compression, I should go dry granulation, or I should go wet granulation. And this can be done very easily. Make a group of students, 3 or 4 members, let them and find the logic as an activity. And this once they know, they will not forget. And group learning, as I said, always provides a better platform. Then we are talking of also problem-based learning. Yes, problem-based learning is very useful. And sometimes our situation does not permit to take all the classes based on problem-based learning. But definitely we can take some classes on this problem. So less lecture, more questions. So the students have to solve the problem. And teacher here is just a facilitator. Just a facilitator. And they will sit in the group, they will decide what is the outcome and how, and the teacher will probably at the last give a conclusion what way the students should move. This is called problem-based learning, and this is yet to catch because of our time schedule, the syllabus, and it's a little difficult in many instances when our number of students are more and the teachers has theory class 1:60 or 1:100, we have difficulties. Friends, here is a task for you. If you want to teach oral rehydration salts, identify the teaching points, what you want to teach, and plan for a problem-based learning for this activity. And why I have chosen is ORS. This is one of the most remarkable discovery of 21st century. Very few people know about this genesis of ORS because we think what is there, it is only a salt solution and glucose solution. What is there to know? But no other medicine has saved these many number of lives and continued saving lives what the ORS has done. Nothing else has saved. And this ORS formula has also changed. So if you have to do this, identify the teaching points. What points you want to teach? I'll tell at least 1 or 2 points here. How to make the solution? This is only salt. How to make the solution? What is there? It is very simple. Dissolve in water. Yes, it is very simple, but it is not as simple as we think. For example, see, this is the formula of ORS. It contains sodium chloride, potassium chloride, sodium citrate, and anhydrous glucose. This is the WHO formula, universally used this ORS solution. What is written? The whole quantity is to be dissolved in 1 liter of recently boiled and cooled water, and it is available at different quantities to be dissolved in a fixed volume of boiled and cool drinking water. But what is the catch here? What for this ORS is used? ORS is used to supplement water and electrolytes so that a patient will not get dehydrated, patient will not lose his electrolyte balance. So 2 purpose, friends. One is maintaining electrolyte balance. The second is to prevent dehydration. And dehydration is one of the major causes of death. Major causes of death. One of the major causes. See this here, the science behind this. Earlier we had a different formula which has high osmolarity. It is revised and made into another formula which has lower osmolarity. Friends, we know in osmosis, what happens in osmosis? Solvent moves from lower concentration to higher concentration. If 2 solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, solvent moves from lower concentration to higher concentration. This is what is called as osmosis. So when we drink a high osmolar solution, what will happen? The solution in the gastrointestinal tract is of higher osmolarity, high osmotic pressure. So solvent moves. So water from the cells moves and goes to the gastrointestinal tract, and we eliminate that with our diarrhea. See, so Kati is the proper concentration, and this should be similar to our biological fluids so that we'll not lose our water. Many times people have this belief, child is not taking, so make concentrated and give 1 spoon. We are damaging more. Then one more issue is, yes, we have made this solution now. How long I can use this? How long I can use this? Can I use 1 day, 2 days, 3 days? So then here is another subject. After pharmaceutics, and now I'm coming to the pharmaceutical jurisprudence. Many students find it is not interesting because we never made it interesting. And many teachers are not interested to teach the jurisprudence because we feel it is difficult, it is a dull subject and people will not listen. While I teach how to make tablet, all the students will be very interested in learning how to make tablets. Because somewhere there is a gap between what we teach and what the student understand or what students learn. This pharmaceutical jurisprudence is equally important and perhaps sometimes more important in practice. We often don't teach, unfortunately. Yes, in state also we have a drug controller. In central also we have a drug controller. So what the state drug controller does and what the central drug controller does. We know the Drug and Cosmetic Act comes under the ministry, administrative control of the Ministry of Health and Welfare. But very few people know Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act and rules we have been teaching to the students several years. If we ask a question, this administration comes under which ministry, we fail to tell. And sometimes you'll never be thinking that it comes under that ministry. So this is what we need to teach them, and that is how we can create interest on teaching pharmaceutical jurisprudence. Pharmaceutics, few examples, friends. We know solubility determination is in physical pharmacy, in pharmaceutics, it is a common experiments in B Farm, even in M Farm sometimes, and every project student does this solubility determination. What we see in the solubility, make a saturated solution and determine the concentration that will give you the solubility. But how do you know that the solution that we have prepared is saturated? Because towards the end, when is about to achieve equilibrium, saturation, it takes long time. Solubility rate of solution will be very, very slow. You will not be able to appreciate. Then coming to the weak iodine solution, I think still it is in B Farm and Farm D, it is an experiment. All these days we say aqueous iodine solution. What we do is aqueous iodine solution, iodine is not soluble in water, so add potassium iodide. Potassium iodide will react with iodine, it will make triiodide, it will solve. But in weak iodine solution, water is not the vehicle. And this is alcoholic vehicle. And in this alcoholic vehicle, iodine is soluble. Iodine is soluble. If iodine is soluble, but still we have the potassium iodide as a component. Why? People believe, here also they will tell the same explanation. What is the explanation? Iodine is not soluble. But here The vehicle is different, solvent is different, iodine is soluble, but still we use potassium iodide. And that is how we can create interest among the students. Friends, many of you are examiners. Many of you are examiners. So here is a small question. And I would like to know how much mark you would give to this student. Question is, a person wants to carpet You are able to see the whole question? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see.
A person wants to carpet the floor of the drawing room. The size of the drawing room is 25 into 15 meter. What would be the cost of the carpet if it is available at rupees 200 per square meter? I am sure it is a very, very simple question. A student has worked out this also. The floor area of the drawing room, very simple. Multiply length and breadth, 25 into 15, 365 square meter. Cost of 1 square meter carpet is given 200. So 375 square meter, he has calculated 7,500 rupees, and the cost of carpet, he said, is 7,500. How much mark you will give for this answer? At least 1 or 2. Response will help me. How much mark will you give? 20?
Directly, if he is writing in a single step, that may be wrong. But if he can narrate it,
no, there is nothing. This is the answer. You are an evaluator at this moment. You are an evaluator. How much mark you are going to give for this?
answer if he is writing in a single sentence, I think
No,
I will
this
not
is
give.
the answer. This is the answer given. Calculation and answer. This is the workout.
I'll give probably 1/4 of the marks, 5 marks.
5 marks. Very good. Any other?
20, sir.
20. Very good. Excellent. Your students are blessed.
20, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
20, sir.
20. Another 20. Okay, very good. So that means how much difference between the marks? Same answer. Same answer. Teachers are different. Teachers are different. Assessor is different. Evaluator is different. So one is 5. A teacher is giving 5. Another teacher is giving 20.
Hello.
So my son or my daughter's paper has gone, who is giving 20. Another person's son or daughter, paper has gone to person who is giving 5. Is it the student fault?
Yes.
Are we not victimizing the student? So this is the way we need to think. If this happens for an arithmetic question, if this happens to an arithmetic question, what will happen to our long answer, descriptive answers? How much injustice we have been doing? Yes, Priyanka Chakravarti.
Please unmute her. Priyanka Chakrabarti. Sir would like to talk. Sir, actually, there is something called a scheme of evaluation, no, sir.
Yes.
I think every evaluator should go by that.
Sir, if we use rubrics, this problem can.
Yes, madam.
be solved?
No. This is the answer given by a student. Now, how much mark you as a teacher intends to give? And what I am trying to say here is, we need to be sensitive while evaluating papers because it is going to reflect somebody's life.
Nice.
And I give 1 mark, another person give 1 mark. How much injustice it is? The variation should never come more than 10%. If variation comes more than 10%, this is very unfortunate on our part. See here, another. Sometimes we ask the student to do 2 practical together, not only 1 practical in one.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, Suresh?
So sorry, sir. Sorry, please go ahead.
So we have asked the students to dispense 100 milliliter calamine lotion. Another is to dispense 100 ml milk of magnesia. The student was very good, prepared, but as usual, people are hurry towards the end in pharmaceutics because products are evaluated at the end. So what happens is he interchanged the level and brought this for evaluation. Interchange the level. The level was very good. As you say, level must be neat, legible, accurate, and attractive, excellent. But only one, it is not accurate. It is interchange. Will you give mark or you will not give marks? Levels are interchanged. That means what you are supposed to give, you are not giving, you are giving something else. And we think the dispensing is one of the inferior subject, but this is the toughest subject. Dispensing. And that is why the Monash University of Australia, they conduct a symposium every alternate year, my dispense symposium, training only on because people ignore it and it ignorance reflects in professional practice. I happen to be one of the invitees. They have invited me to know about those programs. So when we assess, so now I try to sensitize you, try to help you to understand how the evaluation or examination will conduct, and we should be sensitive on that. What exactly we look at when we assess a student? We assess knowledge and intellectual skills. Knowledge and intellectual means recalling of facts, procedure, interpretation of data, problems. Then the communication skill and the practical skill. These are the 3 types of skills normally we evaluate on a student. And how we do? We do by setting multiple choice questions, but people think it is very easy. Multiple choice questions are very, very tough making. Because if we look at what are the criteria to be fixed for a multiple choice question, we'll find very, very difficult. It is not easy. I remember some of the universities have multiple choice questions and many people refuse to set the question papers because you need time to understand frame questions. Here is one I have said. Which of the following defines the ipratropium bromide's mechanism of action? Beta antagonist, muscarine antagonist, muscarine agonist, calcium channel antagonist. Which of the following defines the ipratropium? Anyway, you know the answer probably. Keep with you. So this is how we need to be. And never to be, none of the above, all things should not come. Short essay questions, it must be reliable, it must be economical, and test the students' ability to recall information without giving any clue. Test certain higher level problem solving. So multiple choice, it is fixed. Here you are giving a student to think and write. And how this question should be? Keep the question should be short, clear, make each question independent of the other, and so on. You can use this terminology. And friends, now for NBA accreditation, those who are going, there is something called Bloom taxonomy. Bloom taxonomy is used for framing questions. And that is one of the requirements for assessment during NBA. So here is the short question of that multiple choice question we have made. Name the following features of ipratropium bromide. So you can tell what is the use of this drug, what are its side effects, what is the mechanism of action. We can use for 5 marks or questions. Long answer. This is very, very, very problematic. Low inter-examiner reliability and poor objectivity. And the variation, and most of the time what we teachers do, give 70 to 80% marks, nobody will question. Sometimes without reading what the student has written. So for long answer, it should be making a summary of a scientific paper, synthesis of complex sentence, comparing two phenomena, criticizing relevance of a concept, formulating a policy, plan of action. For example, at this moment of time, you know, everywhere COVID, we are in the midst of COVID-19, and you know the medicines available. You can ask a question, assess the usability or usefulness of various medicines available for COVID-19. So how we can write the long answer questions, how to make this, evaluating, as our Professor Suresh Kumar said, that we must have a guideline how to evaluate, and the people should agree on that so that we can properly evaluate. Now, see, basically, we have 3 types of question. Lower order cognitive question, we just remembering. Whether we understand or not, it's just remembering. And about 50 to 60% questions must belong to this lower cognitive order. Then about 30 to 45% intermediate cognitive order, we understand and then answer it. And the higher cognitive order, where we are able to analyze, we are able to apply, it should contain about 15%. And normally we do not encourage to have more than 50% for the higher order cognitive, because in a class or in a system, all students are not equal. Some are of higher caliber and some are average. So looking at all these, the question papers need to be divided into lower order cognitive, intermediate order cognitive, and higher order cognitive. Higher order cognitive should not have more than 15%. So how we use this lower order, what is the terminology we use? Describe, identify, label, define. Intermediate order, apply, determine, use, relate. Friends, very often I have seen something like determine. I saw a title in a PhD thesis, development of HPLC method for simultaneous determination of XYZ. Development of HPLC method for simultaneous estimation determination of XYZ. Friend, we don't determine, when we use the terminology determine, we do not use determine a person, determine a drug, we determine parameter, determine the melting point, determine the solubility. But unfortunately, sometimes we are using this terminology little illogically. And highest order or higher order, appraise, compare, conclude. For example, many people will be studying the clinical research, and there are many authorities, many agencies. So we can compare the ethical guidelines of Government of India with that of ICH, with that of US FDA guidelines. This is of the higher order, because we both have to learn, understand, then only we can write such answers. So here, again another example, drug price control order. How we can make multiple choice questions, short answer type, long answer type, testing of higher understanding. I'm just giving you a testing of higher understanding for this drug price control order. This, we have remdesivir, a drug, Cipla, Hetero, and many others are planning to market. These two have already started marketing, and they are selling their vials at a different price. If you see, now you analyze this in terms of, is the price affordable? Is the price affordable to Indian people? So this is our activity. Yes, friends, we are coming to closure. Many times we understand our students are not good. They make a lot of mistakes. Yes, if they do mistakes, we have more opportunity to teach them. If they don't do mistake, they will not ask me for teachers. So where the students do more mistakes, we have more opportunity to teach. They will understand our value. And where the students are very good, they will not understand the value of teachers unless we also raise to their expectation. And finally, friends, we need to take care of ourselves. There are a lot of hazards. There are a lot of hazards in teaching profession, and starting from sometimes getting assault by the student to the problem of vocal cord, problem of the chalk dust allergy, and so we need to take care of ourselves. And yes, we have been talking, but whether other person is really understanding us properly or not is very, very important. Friends, maybe last 45 minutes to 1 hour I spoke to you, and I'm sure probably you did not misunderstand me. So see this innocent boy, his teacher has told, write an essay on dog. He has written, but teacher is very angry. Friends, this is the take-home message for you. What is this is, yes, I want to teach, fine, but you know what to teach, that they will listen to me. That preparation is very, very important. See, for example, I was just listening this exercise in a Facebook presentation. One fellow was telling, if you want to disclose in your house that you want to tell, I love so and so, you just go and tell your father and mother. You don't do a background work. You don't do something before that, so that your mother, father will be very happy to hear what you are telling. Or just go and disclose. Or you want to propose for a girl, simply on first meeting you tell, I love you. Or you prepare a ground for it. Same way, we need to prepare the ground for our relation. And that is very, very, and we need to spend time for it. Thank you very much for your understanding, your patience, and last but not the least, I profuse to thank Professor Suresh Kumar for inviting me to part of this seminar. And please do remember, friends, if the students do not learn the way we teach, then we need to teach the way they learn. Thank you once again. Thank you. Now questions, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable speech, valuable suggestions, and for your cherished speech and stimulating all of us to amazing the pinnacle natural life, sir. Now it's a time for questions and answer session. So I request Mrs. AVS Madhulata Madam, Associate Professor, Nasrapeta Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and moderator for the today's session. Please continue with it.
One second, madam. 1 second, sir. Mahanta sir, it was
yes,
really,
please.
Yeah, it was really excellent. And the last words what you said really impressed me a lot. If the student doesn't learn the way we teach, we have to teach the way he learned, which is evident, by several movies. The famous movie, the Three Idiots, and many other movies are also there like that. It's really, actually need of the hours. Thank you very much.
We'll become irrelevant. If we want to be relevant, yes, we have to think of our clients, not that what we know or what we have learned.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Madam, you are sharing a screen.
Any question?
There are some questions in YouTube.
I'm going to sharing the screens.
Please go ahead.
Sir.
Papu.
Okay, sir. It's not coming, sir. Sorry, sir.
No, but you
It's
can extract the question and tell.
okay, sir. Sir, it was really a great session, sir. All the participants were very carefully following the session. Some of them are even enthusiastic with a few questions, sir.
Yes, please.
If you permit me, I shall read out them,
You
sir.
see, yes, I'm asking. Please go ahead.
1 second, sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, myself, Dr. Ravikiran, faculty of NIPS.
Okay, very nice.
Sir, my question is that do you think reforms have to take place in the assessment and examination system, sir? I think that we are still testing the memory of students in the form of exams and not the application of concepts. Application is hardly limited to only a few subjects like pharmacokinetics, organic chemistry, and biostatistics. In the rest of the subjects, the memory is being tested and not the application, sir. What do you think, sir? Do you agree, sir?
See, there is no question of agreeing or not disagreeing. It is the teacher who has to decide what sorts of question I have to make. And for everything, we can have the questions starting from problem.
Sir, you are in mute, sir.
Anta sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So a dull subject like pharmaceutical jurisprudence, we can make questions as we like. It could be problem based, it could be long answer type, it could be SEP. And so problem based means we are testing their applicability, whether they are able to utilize the number principle or the subject what they have learned. Number two, if we look at reformation, who brings reformation? Reformation needs to come from within. Yes, we need reformation at a higher level, that is true, but reformation has to come from within. As a teacher, what freedom a teacher has, nobody else has that freedom in this world as far as his or her job is concerned. Now, why this question is probably coming in many people's mind is we are not trained neither in teaching nor in evaluating. You have all not gone all these trainings. For us, these are all were mandatory. These are all mandatory. We have undergone the training, and there is something called micro teaching. In this micro teaching, whatever you teach, it will be video recorded and will be replayed later, which you can watch and others can also watch and give the feedback for improving. So these are some of the things that we are lacking. Number three, something we called communication. And we think that what we communicate, our job is over. But we'll have the problem of this cartoon what I have shown. And that is why, as far as possible, we should be talking with clarity. And in order to talk clarity, Ashok, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. So our success or a good communicator is not talking for a long time. A good communicator follows a principle called KISS. K-I-S-S. K-I-S-S, KISS. Keep it short and simple. And yes, we need reformation, but the reformation should come from within first. Not that it should be imposed as a rule over the teachers, because teachers have enormous flexibility and teachers are always resistant to any imposed things.
Okay, sir. Dear participants, if you have any queries or questions, you can directly ask him to Mohanta sir.
Madam, please follow on YouTube. There are some questions.
There are no questions.
Sir, one question from Mr. Soumendra Shah. He asks, sir, how
Yes,
should
please.
how should I make short essay questions economical? Kindly give an idea.
Yes, please.
Making short essay questions economical. Please give an idea.
See, economical means, or short answer means, not in true sense economy. Means this should be answered within a half a paragraph or one paragraph. I give the same example what we have discussed. What is the purpose of having these 4 ingredients in ORS? We have no sodium chloride, potassium chloride, then we have sodium citrate and dextrose. What is the purpose of having 4 ingredients in ORS? This could be a small question. And they will write one by one why we need sodium, and if we need sodium, why sodium chloride? If we want potassium, why potassium chloride? Like that, they have to answer. It would be one paragraph, not more than that. So this is economical.
Very nice, sir.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, do you support open book examination, which is planned by Delhi University recently, sir?
See, the open book examination is very definitely an good way to train people or evaluate people, because the facts and figures, these are the components of knowledge and they are all available. Why do we need to remember? These are all in our fingertips. You put to Google Assistant, Alexa, they will tell you. So when we are framing a question in open book system, it will not be that easy to frame questions. And from that, it is not that easy to answer. It will not be facts and figures. It would be something how you are going to use it. So use it whether there are books or no books. This is your thought. But definitely facts and figures that one will copy from the books, those questions are not asked in open book question system.
Sir?
Yes, please.
I feel that there is a great need for training and induction for freshers who enter into teaching profession, sir.
True.
Because the syllabi, the curriculum are undergoing tremendous changes. The things we have studied 10 years back is not there in the textbook right now, and it is undergoing a change. It will be something which is going to have a drastic change. when compared to 30 or 40 years back when you have graduated.
Right.
So an induction and training program is necessary from the side of UGC, APTI, and those governing bodies, sir.
True. I'll tell you, there are two things we do need. One is induction. A student first joining as a teacher. He was student yesterday. Today he become teacher. So a teacher needs to know not only just the subject, and more is psychology, class management, time management. This is something called induction training or orientation training. There is another one is things are changing every day. New information is arriving. Old concepts become dead. So for that, we need subject updating. And this is called, normally we call it refresher training, refresher course. And UGC, AICT, they give plenty of opportunity for all these programs. And in fact, the teachers are offered these trainings with full support, including travel and stay in the training institute. We used to conduct a lot of programs. A teacher must go induction. Subject updating we can do, but induction we need to listen to the people. And if nothing is there, sometimes one can simply take a video of his or her lecture, go back home, look at how one is doing, and that will help in improving. Because Freud has said, everyone is great in his or her dream. So I believe I am the best teacher. I have taken the best class, but I can be my own judge. Hope to have satisfied your queries.
Okay, sir. Sir, one of the participants want to ask a question.
Sure.
Please go ahead, sir. Kiran Kumar, please unmute yourself. Kiran Kumar, yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I'm the student of yours. I studied M.Pharm in 2004 to 6.
Your good name?
Yes, Kiran Kumar, sir.
Yes, Kiran Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Where are you? Which institute?
In Narsapet only, sir. AMDD College of Pharmacy.
Okay.
So, very nice session, sir. Actually, still from 14 years, I'm waiting for this session. So I strongly believe that so for teachers, we require some training program, how to teach students. We learn more from you, especially in the case of experiments. So before starting of experiment, before day or before week, how you trained us, just we are following same thing, plan of work, how to start the experiment before that. This is very nice session, sir. So really, if any refresher course, so how to teach the students, so that is very important for us nowadays, because almost all now new faculty, they don't know how to teach the students, how to use the board. So at that time, so you are the people are guiding us how to teach, how to eye to eye contact, or how to use the board. So everything we learn from you, sir. This is very nice session. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
We continue learning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As you rightly said, teachers generally, they don't come forward to ask questions because of the overconfidence that they know everything. That is the reason why. Because in this group also, many of them are teachers and would-be teachers who are already confident. Yes. So I would like to express my view, sir. There are two components for a teacher. One is teaching, the other one is evaluation, which are more important. And teaching, coming to the teaching part nowadays, maybe because of the scarcity of eligible qualified personnel into the teaching profession, or maybe because of the secondary importance given by the qualified graduates into teaching. We need, as somebody said, the induction program is really need of the hour, sir. And many of the colleges, maybe in some universities, definitely they may be taking giving this induction program. And in majority of the colleges, they don't know the a fresh graduate, a postgraduate, or even before he gets his professional certificate, is entering in as a teacher in many of the colleges. The day one, he is simply let into the allowed to go into the classes to address say 60 or 100 people. Till yesterday he was there on the other side. Today he is here. A little bit of confidence, and this training program is actually required. The way they address, as you said, NASA micro teaching may help us, like video, all these things also. Second thing, the same teacher with 1 year, 2 years experience is going to the universities for evaluation of their own students or the students of his contemporaries. This is also somehow the universities are not putting much effort to screen the people. Universities always because to get these grades, NAC grades and other NBA accreditations grades and all within the shortest period, they want to declare the results. So any person who comes, they actually agree or give the task of evaluation without knowing. There are people there to control it. Evaluator is there, chief evaluator is there, moderator is there, but still the system of evaluation has to be very finely tuned. That is my strong feeling, because we get so many number of examples, sir, where the real student is getting affected and worst student is getting the benefit also.
That is what I said. No, 5 marks and 20 marks.
Yeah. Actually, I also, I think, mistook the answer is supposed to be 75,000. I also by oversight. So something like this only may happen.
Yes, it happens.
It happens. Correct.
He knows multiplication, and that is why first step was correct. Second step, while writing, he forgot to put another zero.
Zero. Yes. One of the audience gave it rightly. Good. Anyway, thank you. I advise all these all the participants, at least while doing evaluation, do it with your conscious, to the satisfaction your conscious. Do not ignore the system of evaluation and teaching, which gives a bad impacts badly on our profession. Thank you, Mohanta sir. I think one more person Yes. One more hand is risen.
Sure.
Sir, one more person is waiting, sir. Jinsha P. Please raise your, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good afternoon, madam. Hello. Please go ahead.
I think it's network.
Your voice is. Ma'am, it is breaking.
Madam, if you don't mind, can you write your question in chat box itself?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, we are able to hear you now.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Please ask the question, madam.
Now, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to convey one thing, sir. If in practicals, the viva were conducted, we all conduct vivas.
Yes.
Okay. Instead of that, if we give a set of reasoning questions and answering in that in a tabulated form, then we can better analyze the student. I think so. Multiple questions, sport vivas, this all things. Practicals are, should give more importance than theory, which so we have to work on the practical aspects much more than the theoretical part. Then only things will get conveyed more to the children. So seriousness, compulsory seriousness, and the worksheet, a different system should be should be made on the practical evaluation. Theoretical part, what we all memorize, some students will be good IQ. Practical part should have a strict evaluation. That means strict evaluation means so many um, inputs should we have to conduct. It's a major part of the examination. About more than 50% mark should be given to the more than 50% consideration should be given to practical evaluation rather than theory. Theory is an IQ concept that may will impart to our research and development. Sir, it's my point of view.
Yes, madam, I agree with you. But we are bound by certain rules and regulations also.
Sir, I think research and development was going down because of this. Students should be much more fear and much more knowledge about the practical, what they are doing, what is going to be this application in the future. Everything practical is each and every practical should be strictly guided and evaluated. Then only research we will guide research.
Madam, I have a little disagreement on this. The research capability of the country is increasing. Only thing, it is in, if we look at last 10 years, 15 years or 50 years, research capability is increasing. But definitely we cannot compare ourselves with that of USA or any other. USA, how long they are independent, madam? And we got independence only in 1947.
Yes.
So there is no comparison between the what is their GDP and what is our GDP. So no comparison. But if we look ourselves, but what is the concern? I understand that we are not giving enough importance to our students to improving the skill.
Yes.
Because of for one or other reason. Sometimes I'm taking a class. My HOD says, you are taking the class, here is an urgent work, you please attend that class. No, that practical, the other person will manage.
Yes.
So in the name of some other work, sometimes we are ignoring our basic teaching learning process. That really is a challenge.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay.
But another, madam, we are telling about the Viva. The Viva is not just testing the knowledge or remembrance.
Okay, sir.
Viva, the major component of Viva is the communication.
Okay, sir.
We test the, at least I don't believe on what answer one gives. Whenever I ask Viva, I look at how he is approaching to the problem.
Okay, sir.
His communication or her communication, not the exact answer. Exact answer, madam, anybody can ask Google Assistant or Alexa, they will give the answer.
Okay, sir.
But his communication, that is why Viva has different components for evaluation.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving the nice information. Thank you.
Sir, one of the participant posted a question.
Sure.
What is reflective practice teaching method and its benefits on teachers and students?
Reflective
practice teaching method.
I am not sure about this.
What
Exactly.
is
I am not.
reflective practice teaching method and its benefits on teacher and students?
Reflective is probably what I believe it is micro teaching.
Okay, sir.
It is micro teaching. And micro teaching probably every teacher can do. We don't need anybody's help.
Okay, sir.
We can just ask someone to, or we can put our cell phone in one corner and we can record and go and see later.
Okay, sir. Another question, sir.
Uh.
How to build autonomer mindset among students in this pandemic situation?
One second, madam.
How to build autonomer mindset among students in this pandemic situation?
See, there is no, I don't understand this very clearly. What
he typed the same, sir.
Atmanirbhar, sir. Atmanirbhar. Okay. Means self-reliance. Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar is in Hindi,
Okay.
and its English equivalent is self-reliance.
Okay,
So, for that, a teacher has to find his own way. And this, which student requires one, like one tablet fits all, will not fit. We should have a different methodology, different attitude, different way to address. But definitely we need to, that is why we have stopped talking as a teacher. We are now either as a mentor, the teachers are known as a mentor or facilitator. No more college teacher. And even what we are telling now is, don't, people say whether you have completed your syllabus. A syllabus is not to be covered. Syllabus is required to be uncovered. So we need to facilitate, help them learning, help them becoming self-reliant. Next, madam.
Questions are completed. Questions completed. Next, vote for vote of
Even the friend who was talking about Atmanirbhar, talk one day to all the students how we can become Atmanirbhar in pharmaceuticals. You know, the how we will have the pharma security, medicine security will achieve. We are not Atmanirbhar, self-reliant in pharma or medicine, though we have been giving medicine to more than 200 countries. But we are not, because we still depend 70% of our active pharmaceutical ingredient or the bulk drugs, we depend on China alone. So talk about how we can, country can become self-reliant. Okay. These are sometimes not necessarily that this is the subject I have to teach. How we can motivate. Yes, madam.
Okay. Question came from Samaris from Gujarat.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Questions are completed, sir.
Okay, madam.
Next, I'll hand over my mic to Dr. Nagar Ravikiran.
Sure.
He will continue the vote of thanks, sir.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable speech and also the time for question and answer session. Now it's a time for vote of thanks by Dr. T.N. Ravikiran, Professor, Nasrapet Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, also coordinator of PRAGYATHA 2020. Please continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here we come to the end of day 1 in 6-day virtual faculty development program, PRAGYATHA 2020. I, Dr. T. Nagaravikiran, Faculty Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, on behalf of all the faculty members of NIPS, thank the management and principal for helping us create a platform to organize a FDP, which got a great response from nearly 750 faculty members all over the country. I consider that this is an opportunity in adversity. On this occasion, I thank the speaker of the day, Professor Guru Prasad Mohanta, for his elaborate session on good teaching practices. A teacher's learning is a continuous, never-ending process. This FDP is rightly placed and planned to refine the skills of teachers. The example of carpet and floor is really exemplary. It clearly shows that different teachers evaluate in different ways. And as a result, the student performance and even the fate is affected. It may be either good or bad. I must also thank the Association of Pharmacy Professionals India for co-hosting this event and providing us the needed. Thank you, Dr. Vijay Dahiya, sir, professor at University of West Indies. I feel that the efforts put on by the faculty members of our college are priceless and the driving force for the fruitful conduct of any seminar and webinar. They are relentless and innovative. My heartfelt thanks to all the participant faculty members over 8 states of the country, and your interest in learning will be a motivation to the student community. I thank you all for making this event a resounding success. All the participants are once again reminded that tomorrow's session by Dr. Rajiv Dahiya on cyclo-oligopeptides will commence at 9 a.m. sharp. Now it's time for closing remarks by Dr. Somnath De.
Great, sir. Thank you, everyone. Really, we appreciate you being here. And thanks again for joining us today. And we'll also see you tomorrow. And remaining to all tomorrow's session that will be started on sharp 9 a.m. by Dr. Rajiv Dahiya. So hope everyone follows the same and do the needful. Thank you very much, sir. So I ask our principal, sir, please give.
Yeah, it's fine, Dr. Somnath. Once again, thank you all the participants and the speaker of the day, my Guru. In the name itself, there is Guru Prasad Mohanta, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for being with us. I hope to see you in all our future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Guru Prasad.
I think it's time to close. No?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The IT people, support people, I request